Good afternoon. How are you today? I'm getting out late. We've had changes at my office this week. We made two people in our firm, a new one and an older one, made them shareholders. And so we've been talking to people about our new model, and that's been a lot of fun and exciting. And last night I got a chance to talk about what's going on or not going on in the Capitol. The two big issues continue to be, what are we going to do about the vaccines and the pandemic, the Omicron variation, which just seems to ride everywhere and get everyone. And where do we stand in America? Well, first of all, let's talk about the epidemic. I'm on the side of those teachers out in Chicago who are very concerned about going to the classroom for themselves, for the students, for the administrators, for the security officers, because we know that the vaccinations, which are terrific, do not protect you from actually getting ill. And so distance and masks is about the only thing that's certain. And all across the country, schools are reacting by closing up. Now, the mayor, whose name is Lori Lightfoot, and there's a restaurant near us called Lightfoot's, and she thinks, and I'm not saying she's wrong, but it doesn't appear to hold water to me. She's saying, oh, it's all political, and I don't think so. I mean, what's the political edge in not going to work because you're afraid of getting sick or dying? You know, and some of these teachers are older, and therefore they have comorbidities that make them more at risk. So, yes, if I had a kid in Chicago or I had a kid right here, they wouldn't be in school, not until this is over. And some people say they look at their future disappearing. Well, if you get ill and die, your future disappears sooner. And, you know, I love school, and I'm sure I would be upset about this. But as a kid, I used to watch these stations that had classes on calculus and science projects and all manner of stuff. And I know it's much more sophisticated now. So it may be the attitude of the parents is crushing the children, because the parents, a lot of them, are only concerned to have a babysitter, and that's just not the right decision to make. In the category of sad stories, you know, after Ghislaine Maxwell, when we talk about how terrible that was, well, the Boy Scouts are about to make a settlement of $2.7 billion. Yeah, $1 billion. And what is it for? It's for being offensive and, you know, predator behavior on the Scouts. Just wrong. You know, my daughter was in the Girl Scouts. We never heard anything about that. And that was long before this problem came up. So, what else are we talking about? The EPA has added additional pollutants. I think they should add Republicans to their list. And commenting on the obvious, you know, if you get the song from Garland and from Biden, you say that's terrific. But what about the dance? What about the dance? You guys waited a year. I think they're folding and giving us this language because we've been protesting that we want an accounting, that we will never be free and clear, and the democracy will continue to be at risk if there is not a reckoning of these people top to bottom. There is a great cartoon in the Washington Post today listing all the terrible people and who they are and where they kind of had a role in this usurpation of government power, this interference in legislation, which is a seditious conspiracy by its very language. And we have to act upon that. So what is our role? Our role is to say that if it took them a year to come to this point, and at this point they still haven't prosecuted Mark Meadows for his failure to comply with a subpoena, when are they going to issue a felony to anybody? When? I don't think they are. And so we have to keep talking to keep their feet to the fire, because otherwise nothing will happen. And The older I get, the more I think that people who spend too much time in the legislative or the judicial have forgotten how to act if they ever knew. Because these two things, these two functions, seem to have a lot of delay built into them. People can't make decisions, no matter how many years they practice at it. Legislators wait until the last minute. And here they're all hoping somebody will make this decision for them, and they're not. The Justice Department has had cases in New York. Why didn't they prosecute those ready to go? Rudy Giuliani has been the subject of a search warrant. So, some people are critical of me saying, oh, I'm never happy. Well, first of all, it's not true. I'm happy right now talking to you. But things do happen, and I am happy about them, and I am happy they made the statements. But if they'd made them in February or March, I wouldn't be anxious that they're not going to back them up, that they're not going to actually act. And the key here is action. I've repeated to others what Sartre said, which is we are potentially nothing. We are defined, our character, by only what we do. And if we followed that prescription, we would have never had Barr as an attorney general. We would never have had these 3 judges on the Supreme Court who are compromising our Anglo-American heritage to follow the law and to make modifications based on stare decisis precedent and to move on that way so the public can trust its institutions. So that's enough for now. And it's a little chilly. It's supposed to snow in the morning. And I'll be commuting electronically tomorrow. And most of the time, I'll be continuing to do what I've done. But we had a special week at the firm. So all the best to you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.